Dalai Lama matters versus media hype. Short clip versus full picture. Episode 2. Today, Namaste. Good day, good night to everyone. So, today, Dalai Lama, the truth versus media hype, short clip versus full picture, full reality. Truth matters. Truth matters because truth fosters understanding. Truth is the only way to reduce misunderstanding because truth matters, because truth can only build trust. Trust is only built on trust. Truth is what leads us to make more effective decisions. And truth is what brings justice and fairness for all. So today, if you type Dalai Lama on the YouTube, there are YouTube influencers, including mind-bogglingly shocking professional medias, have taken a small edited clip and that have led into misjudging the event without giving anybody the context of what, where, when, where it's happening, and so and so. And as I see these YouTube videos, media is presenting as if Dalai Lama is a sexual bigotry, abuse, and as you see, the reality is farthest from truth. And now that makes me to realize that I have to break my silence and come to the public stage and really dispel this confusion and cloud so that the sunlight and the truth can come out. So first one of the there's so many YouTubes and videos are so saying Dalai Lama said, suck my tongue, something like that, and then immediately equate to Catholic Church oppressing some child or something like, which is completely two separate issues and completely unrelated. And now the second is this kind of a misinformation campaign happen to be, and these kind of information happens because certain group in the world campaigns in an or organized, coordinated, global manner to orchestrate misleading informations. So, what is propaganda versus truth? What is hype versus reality and truth? So, propaganda and misinformation. First of all, propaganda and misinformation are misleading, selective, edited video clips. Propaganda party can create misleading narratives, portray events, certain speech, certain act, footage in support or against any kind of agenda. Propaganda, misleading informations can bring false context. Usually it's short clips without proper context. Propaganda party can create false impressions, interpretations of events. They might show clips of protest, but not mention where, how, when. Manipulative narratives, persuasive language, and emotional appeal. And that is what's been happening in many of the media hypes in number of different countries, because I have also made a video, another video. I hope you guys can also check. And for the past 2 days, I've been having a lot of computer issues. I don't know whether it's a CCP bug. I doubt. They may be, but I will not give up because I want to present this issue. This is a very sensitive issue for me and for the millions and billions of believers. To attack a spiritual peacemaker, to attack someone who has spent all of his life for the service of humanity, and that is to say the least. And I think many of the people might think that, oh, he's Tibetan, he's Buddhist, I'm Christian or something. But if Jesus Christ or Muhammad or anyone truly is alive, I think it will be in the flesh, in the mirror, in the kind of character like His Holiness Dalai Lama. And if Jesus Christ, Buddha, or any kind of enlightened beings were alive, His Holiness Dalai Lama would be that it. And I used to always say, God in flesh. If you love God, we must love the humanity. So today, the topic is Dalai Lama, truth matters, the truth versus media hype, short clip versus full picture. And I want to try to present to you. And so all of these media hypes did not portray where and when. Let me first answer you this first question. So the event that happened was on February 28th. On February 28, 2023, His Holiness the Dalai Lama was invited. Let me take my, it's okay. So His Holiness the Dalai Lama was invited by the M3M Foundation to give a graduation party ceremony speech to encourage the students, the graduators of the students, and to also bless them. This has happened in India, northern part of Himachal Pradesh, Dharamshala, and at the center of the Tibetan main temple, Dharamsala. This is a open space, public, and the event was also broadcasted on the TV. It was happening right there. And so you can read this. And also the boy with his father and mother, his mother happened to be the doctor who led this campaign. And M3M Foundation so has invited His Holiness Dalai Lama on that day, spoke about humanity, that all of the humanity, 8 billion, 7 billion human beings are one race, the oneness of humanity, as he always have encouraged all of us throughout his life for the promotion of human values, kindness, compassion, affection. And then he also spoke about religious harmony, that despite various different faith, religion, culture, that at fundamental level, we as human beings, we are all same. And loving kindness, honesty is what brings trust, and all of the positive things that he actually practices and possesses. And in the mind of the Buddhists, he is the reincarnation of the Avalokiteshvara, the mother of compassion. So, and as you can see on through this article, the students were there, the teachers and the principals presenting gifts, speaking about their graduation at last, in the end. And as you can see right there, that so many YouTubers and is right there, and his father and his mother. Bigger picture of, as you can see, the members of the audience posing for a group photo with His Holiness the Dalai Lama at the end of the program in courtyard of the main temple in Dharamshala, HP, India, February 28th, photo by Tenzin Chujor. So this is the event. And now if you look, if we go on the YouTubes and many different platforms today, or most of the YouTube hypes immediately equates to what happened of the video and event, what happened to some kind of a Catholic molesting church, which is completely irrelevant. And so the organization that invited His Holiness Dalai Lama is the M3M Foundation. M3M Foundation is an education academic foundation, and here it says the founded in 2019. Prestigious M3M India Group M3M Foundation is working towards bringing an equitable development that helps in attaining a brighter India. M3M Foundation envisions growth and development by ensuring the resources required for organized communities and where everyone. So this was the M3M, an event that happened. Now let me show you with the video. And today I'm going to do the video because for the past 2 days, I've been probably the communists might have the corrupt fascist communists might have sent a buck, and usually I could present my videos straight, but sometimes so I've been really having 2 days of really big struggle. So the only way that I can present to the video was to take the video on a TV on my phone, and then I brought this. So now the good news is the big new update. The big new update is the boy and the mother finally, the video came out where they both spoke right after the event. So let me pass this to you, and I hope you can hear the sound well.
I have a question. Can I hug you?
Can I hug you?
It's a question.
Translate He's asking can I hug you? Twice.
It was amazing meeting His Holiness, and I think it's a really great experience meeting somebody with such high positive energy. It's a really nice feeling meeting him, and you get a lot of that positive energy. It's not just like that, but once you get the positive energy, I think you're happier, and it's a better thing, and you smile a lot more. It was a really good experience overall.
I'm Dr. Payal Kanodia, trustee M3M Foundation. We've been working in Dharamshala on this skill center which we started last year. And since then we were looking at seeking blessings from His Holiness. And today we got this opportunity, and especially when my family was there with me. And all the students who graduated from I Empower Academy of Skills were also present. We're totally blessed to have got this blessings from His Holiness. He came, addressed us in person, taught about peace that the world needs, and how everyone needs to feel together like brother and sister. And I absolutely cannot, express how I feel getting blessed by him. Thank you.
Thank you.
So remember we said today, if you look at all of the accuses that pedophile, so many different words that were said, that's unfathomable. For the Tibetans, it's a shocking to the system. And for the faith believers who knows His Holiness Dalai Lama, that too is a shock. And so without going too much into that, so now let's see the actual event. And I also said also about the, propaganda. Propaganda is what's happening. And so in today's time, in this era of information, of technology, it is even more important to check our sources, to develop the wisdom to know what is right, what is wrong, what is sacred, and what is profane. So the kind of profanity, the Insta culture, even in the professional newsrooms, we're quick to judge a rumor without checking all of the facts. Plus, on this case, we have huge, massive, coordinated global campaign funded by authoritarian regimes. And those who have done enough research and studies know exactly who I'm talking about. So, using misleading editing, selective edited clips to spread propaganda or misinformation, false contacts or no contacts, manipulative narrative to defame or sometimes to inflame. And also, the most important lesson that we learn from this is the amplification by sharing short clips widely on social media and other platforms. The propaganda party can amplify their message and create impression of widespread support for the agenda, when reality was there was no support. Anybody who knew, neither the father nor the mother nor the child himself have ever done anything wrong or felt any, they were blessed by His Holiness Dalai Lama. It was only orchestrated, created. And now let's see the actual event. And again, in the future, when I finish making rebuilding the system, then I'll be able to broadcast it straight rather than the video clips that I had to take a picture with my cell phone and to do this. And it took me 2 days to actually more than 2 days to prepare this. So I hope those of you who are listening will subscribe, share, not because I am somebody special, but because I need more people to really know the truth, and truth matters. So now this is the actual event, and I will let you decide. Again, the sound, we can watch it later. The sound is on my phone, and I took the video, and now I'm posting it because my computer now has a certain type of bug, so it's not allowing me to do the direct show. So I'm using it my phone's audio back to show you the video that I took here. So here you go. Okay, let me not have me, so.
Can I hug you? It's a question.
여러분께서 도신 탐나 지도가 여러분께서 꿀을 그 탐나 지도에 지리에서 거리에 저 여러분께서 탐에 탐지를 여러분께서 하트에 디스 하트 지도에 디스 오케이 come
Graduation party.
then
Let's as you can see, the boy asked to hug and then rose up to the stage, and it was all in front of this graduation party, and none of that context was given on all of these media hypes, including big media televisions were not discussing all of that. And I was mind-boggling shocked that including CNN, these professional newscasters wouldn't check its source. So this is quite a something to be really thinking about. And I hope maybe one day medias like the NTTV, CNN, and many of these YouTube influencers, we know that behind the door, the CCP, the corrupt communists, with a lot of their money that they can digitally or print, now they have huge power to influence the global media narration. And hence they're falsely, completely furthest from truth. So none of the medias gave this context. And so now I'm exposing and bringing the truth to you. So let's watch the whole thing. So otherwise you might feel like I am. Hey.
Can I hug you? It's a question.
여러분 여름철의 것은 탐나지기가 여름철 꿀의 그 탐나지기를 드리어놨어. 그래야 저 여름철의 탐지기를
여름철 학쟁이 주기도 학쟁 지내지긴 했어요. 오케이, come.
Graduation party.
Then I think finally here also. And son, my tongue. Thank you. Thank you.
And none of the media, obviously, first of all of the media hype, since it was a propaganda, they edited it. And this is unedited. What you're seeing right now, the video of the event is unedited. And this is exactly what happened and broadcasted on the TV as it was happening. And his Holiness Dharma many times teased with tongues like that. It's partially, yes, many Tibetans, for for different kind of cultures do have different kind of customs, different kind of food. I'm Tibetan. I don't always, but I have seen my grandma's grandpa, many of them do, it's a show of respect where you bow your head and then also, lay down your kind of like pull out your tongue. And it is different cultures do have different traditions and different customs. And this is true. It doesn't mean all of it. It just doesn't mean every Tibetan always pull their tongues. But in this case, it was absolutely a show of, kind of a show of closeness, show of like a grandpa and playfulness. And it's a natural sense of this is when an honest, there was nothing sexual and abusive or all of those pedophile different names. That was shameful that so many different medias would immediately throw such completely misleading terms to a spiritual teacher who, to be honestly speaking, in our time, in this era, for the past how many decades, one who is truly a genuine peace spiritual teacher, a leader, a peace creator in the world, to that kind of a really concerns my heart that where we, and then also one of the things that I did see is obviously is the communist corrupt China propaganda machine that's spreading a lot of these hypes. However, many of the people who fall into that net were so quick. And one thing that I do notice that a lot of the hypes were also youngsters, many young folks. And maybe some of the influencers are getting paid, but some who fall into the big net might be just wanting some hype. And so I think it is even more important for Tibetans, for the world, for everybody to really, really research and check our resources, and not just for the sale of a hype and for getting an extra view. But I think it's even more important, and this is a wake-up call for me. And I hope this is a wake-up call for many Tibetans, for the Tibet movement, many freedom fighters, for those who truly seek a clear life path, a meaningful purpose in life. This is a wake-up call in our time to really check our sources and know that research our informations before we make quick judgment. So let me keep on, and there's more.
We are saying, human brothers, sisters.
We are saying, human brothers, sisters.
Thank you. Now, you should look those good human beings who create peace, happiness, should not follow those human beings who always killing other people, you should not look these people.
Long live so unedited video. So this event, if you had all the context of where it was happening, uh, what was the environment around, and then was it a graduation party? What was His Holiness Dalai Lama doing? What was a kid doing? And all of those contexts, if we had it, I think this would never been such a hype with misconceptions and misconception. Now, let me also go into, like I said, again, misinformation can be created on a massive scale using short clip by the China propaganda party in several ways. So some of the most common method, misleading edited short video clips with an agenda. Some false context presented as short clips without proper context. Party can create false impression, and more manipulative narratives, convincing. More, they can amplify by sharing short clips widely on social media and other platforms. The propaganda party can amplify their messages and create the impression of widespread support for their agenda. They might use bots, AI technology in today's time, and fake account to further spread content and make it appear more popular than it actually is. Overall, China's propaganda party's ability to create and spread misinformation on massive scale is due in part of their tight control over the media and use of sophisticated propaganda techniques. It is important for individuals to be critical of information they encounter online and seek out multiple sources. And this is the most important thing that I wanted to tell everybody, and especially to all the people. And I hope more of you supporters will subscribe and share this video so that the influencers and other media groups can finally get to the bottom of really what happened. now let's get to, so now we know the event 8 2023, Lama addressing the visitors, and it happened at the center of the Tsuklakang, the main Tibetan temple. The M3M Foundation, working to equitable development, creates higher, and His Holiness Dalai Lama talked about human beings, we all brothers and sisters. He talked about century-old Tibetan culture. And then the graduators, the students were keenly listening. They were receiving the blessing. The teachers had communication. It was live broadcasted. And then happily, the boys, father, and none of this on. So now is why. One of the question is answered from the Freedom House organization, one of the most important, respected democratic organization that promotes human values and democratic values around the world. So they yearly prints out reports, and this report says Beijing's global media influence 2022. And here it says the Chinese Communist Party and its proxies are using most sophisticated and coercive reporting, suppress critical reporting happening for decades inside China. And it's foolish. Many of the and press in free countries like India and America are willing to spread these kind of a short clips, and that shows someone either is taking corrupted money behind the door, or maybe the professional press and folks are so lost in mind that we're all fall into insta cultures and we do not, the truth doesn't matter anymore. And third, how dare like to not check your resources and quickly blame a spiritual teacher, leader, an 87-year-old whose entire books, and let me not even, do they really know who His Holiness Dalai Lama is? Have they known that there's been more than 110 books written by His Holiness Dalai Lama? And let's read some of the book names. Let's read some of the book names, like The Art of Happiness, Ethics for the New Millennium, Universe in a Single Atom, The Convergence of Science and Spirituality, My Spiritual Journey, Beyond Religion, Ethics for the World. By the way, you can read, you can find these books all over the internet. Let me do Dalai Lama books. You can find all of these books that I'm mentioning. But let us go back to where we were, right? First to the Freedom House. Okay. So Heart of Compassion. Have you heard about that? So the Communist Party and its proxies are using most sophisticated coercive tactics to shape media narratives and suppress critical reporting. Mass distribution of Beijing-backed content via mainstream media. Now, this is very important. The mainstream media. And I would have never thought that mainstream media nowadays in democratically free country would also willing to just send clips. And sadly, it's now proven that it can happen. And I think part of the reason is, as we live in a capitalistic, democratic, obviously, but a capitalistic system, a lot of the event decisions also are made based on finances. And if there is a big financial incentives, and that is, I think, part of the main reason many of these influencers, and some of them have millions of people, subscribers on their name, and those big subscribers, the influencers, I'm sure anybody with the ethical, moral discipline and principle will never lie to their subscribers. And in this case, it is shockingly mind-boggling that influencers were just throwing this half-baked story all over the internet. That's why I'm here to try to dispel and bring truth back to the table. So today, I will try to make it shorter. In short, so this is one of the most important, shocking, and then the second organization that I want, a legitimate organization. So Digital Threat Analysis Center. Here you go, DTAC's mission is to detect, assess, disrupt digital threat to Microsoft, its customers, and democracies worldwide. Our team will continue to publish analysis covering nation state cyber and influence operations here on Cybertrack. Now you know who is digital threat analysis. So the digital threat analysis have published this article called The Chinese State Media Global Influencer Operation, Why It Matters. When was it? February 10th, 2022. So here it says, in part, one of this two series of 200 Chinese communist CCP aligned social media influencers. We categories based on key characteristics, including type of content they publish, lifestyle, hard news, target audience, international versus domestic, and their connection to Chinese state media. We know CSM leadership is eager to advance influencer-driven CCP message. So now this is the reason why all of the influencer hypes spreading this kind of a lie, accusing a holy, truly spiritual teacher, an event that was furthest from truth, and try to mix sensational, emotional, cultural narratives to try to blame on Tibetan culture or His Holiness Dalai Lama or the tongue when there was nothing sexual. At the furthest, it was the grandpa or a loving affection showing, or it was a gameful play, yet it was edited, hyped. Now, let's see what they said. So they say, CCP, the communist corrupt fascist party, has employed propaganda tactics online over many years with varying degrees of success. On the overt side, embassies, public officials, official spokesperson have long acted as mouthpieces for CCP messaging. Official CSM outlets like Xinhua and Chinese Radio International CRI have served the same function, producing content in many languages and devoting significant resources to advertising on social media. CSM has also attempted to broaden its reach by partnering with the foreign media outlet, which republishes CSM content onto local audiences. Covert activity attributed or aligned with the CCP includes several influence operations targeting audiences outside China. So let me go slightly. So there are covert and overt operations. Covert operations and overt operations. One thing they do it under the table, and one thing they do it openly. What's done openly, obviously communist authoritarian regimes inside China that everybody knows there's no freedom of press. Tibetans have been oppressed since 1950. And imagine the kind of pain and the suffering and the struggle when your country, nation is oppressed and the millions of people. There's been more than 156 fire self-immolations calling for the world, and yet the boat cannot be shaken because of the communist China's military and economic power. But at least let us tell the truth, and at least know on your side that things will evolve. And so at last, on their report, it says, Shanghai of CCP's Central Propaganda Department 2021 that eye-catching, exciting, irresistible, invisible propaganda should be spread. He said, now this is by the propaganda chief minister from CCP. He said, eye-catching, exciting, irresistible, and invisible propaganda should be spread He said that this should be accomplished at least in part through the use of multilingual internet celebrity studios by able to vividly tell the story of propaganda. And so now this is the key reason. This is the key reason and why I am repeating this second time, because now we have the information of the boy and his mom coming out publicly, also showing how they had the event, all of the context, and it's farthest from the truth. And so without going into too much, then I will show you one more time. On March 1st, 2022, Google removed 31,000 Chinese YouTube channels for coordinated influence operations the last 7 months. Now, this is socialmediatoday.com. So the Google had to remove 31,000 Chinese YouTube channels for coordinated influence operations in the last 7 months. And then if you can see here, this is on March 2nd, 2023. Now, this is just last month. Google removes another 6,000 YouTube channels linked to Chinese influence operations. So now today, the great power communist China is not only oppressing the people of China within China. Within China, there's been long, since the Mao Zedong times in the 40s, they have excelled at propaganda. Propaganda is something, informations that are not always true. Most of the time is not true, and it's biased informations that's kind of a twisted and distorted. It is only informations that support their view and not anybody else. They're willing to rewrite history, willing to rewrite anything, and then propagate it, which means widespread influence. So that is pretty much up to here. And then, so today I really hope and request everyone who's viewing here, from my side, I'm making my best effort to try to bring the truth. And from your side, please click subscribe and then also share this. Any nganjudinal pebadandre yubimbina injim인지디 subscribe cheni injimji nejudu yama cabinaronas ngala de mix kan subscribe pa de mangbudene ke me disonza lengege injimji kapyochro chi shui. So there's a lot more informations, but today it's now 43 minutes, and I hope with this coming out, I hope more people will really get a clear picture. And so now let's watch the actual event. This was the event on 28. This was right after, and this after the graduation ceremony. The boys organizer after the event was joyfully, they had finally waited long to get this audience and blessing from His Holiness Dalai Lama. And then let's watch the actual when this happened. His Holiness, the boy suddenly stood up and asked His Holiness Dalai Lama in the middle of the speech about unity of unity of 8 billion human beings, importance of environment, importance of ethics in the millennium. While His Holiness Dalai Lama, the boy stood up, and since the event occurred. So now let's watch the unedited video on my TV. I took it with because the sound system, I have a bug, and I hope.
Can I hug you? It's a question.
여러분께서 지금 탐나 지도에서 여러분께서 꿀에 그 탐나 지금 드리려서 그래야 자 여러분께서 탐지로
Yavrum seni hak çeneli hak çeneli Okay, come.
Graduation party.
Then I think finally here also.
Nice kiss. Perfection.
And son, my tongue. Thank you. Thank you.
No one ever, those media
We are same human brothers, sisters. Thank you. Now, you should look those good human beings who create peace, happiness, should not follow those human beings who always killing other people. You should not look these people.
See that tickle? Did you see that at last? The tickle. So this is
Unedited
actually
video.
how. This is how actually, children, like in our own family, many of you are absolutely aware that in our own children, with the children, it's playfulness. With children, it's playfulness. It's childishness, but that is the warmth. And let's watch later what the boy and his mom spoke about. Now all of this will actually make sense now.
I have a question. Can I have you? It's a question.
여러분께서 지금 탐나 지도에서 여러분께서 꿀에 그 탐나 지금 드리려서 그래야 자 여러분께서 탐지로
It was amazing meeting His Holiness, and I think it's a really great experience meeting somebody with such high positive energy. It's a really nice feeling meeting him, and you get a lot of that positive energy. It's not just like that, but once you get the positive energy, I think you're happier, and it's a better thing, and you smile a lot more. It was a really good experience overall.
I'm Dr. Payal Kanodia, trustee M3M Foundation. We've been working in Dharamshala on this skill center which we started last year. And since then we were looking at seeking blessings from His Holiness. And today we got this opportunity, and especially when my family was there with me. And all the students who graduated from I Empower Academy of Skills were also present. We're totally blessed to have got this blessings from His Holiness. He came, addressed us in person, taught about peace that what the world needs and how everyone needs to feel together like brother and sister. And I absolutely cannot, express how I feel getting blessed by him. Thank you.
Thank you.
So now I really hope everyone get a full picture of what happened, and all of these media hypes, and including the news hypes, are furthest from the truth. Furthest from, instead of sex and abuse, this was the best type of grandpa, best type of affection that every kid, everyone would wish to have. And my question also comes to, why would this kind of a massive global China's defamation, misinformation campaign about His Holiness the Dalai Lama, you know? So one of the reason for this kind of a campaign is to counter influence, the Dalai Lama and his supporters. We have been successful in raising Dalai Lama and the culture of compassion have been successful in raising the awareness about the truth of Tibet. And I hope in the future we could still go into truth about the situation of Tibet and advocating for the human rights and the basic human rights of the Tibetans and the Chinese and the Mongols and the Uyghurs and democracy activists, and freedom of every human being in the world deserves freedom. So Tibet and China sees Dalai Lama as a supporter, as a threat to the control over Tibet and its effort to promote its image as a responsible global power. Far from it. In addition, the Chinese propaganda campaign is aimed at distorting the truth and suppressing dissident both inside outside country, both controlling the narrative and issues related to Dalai Lama and the Chinese government is able to justify it, so that the Chinese government can able to justify its actions. Are they wanting to justify, arbitrary detention, torture? The Tibetans inside Tibet still today do not have easy access to travel. Huge restriction. The Human Rights Report, International Campaign for Tibet, and many of the organizations around the world, including the U.S. state reports on human rights of the world, year after year. It's shockingly difficult. But today I will stop it here, and I hope more people will share this video so that more people, especially influencers and medias, can really get the full picture. And that's why at the beginning of today's talk, I kept saying truth matters. Truth matters. Truth matters because truth is the only way to build genuine trust. Truth matters because truth is the only way to foster real, genuine understanding and reduce misunderstanding. Truth matters because truth leads us into more effective decision into our life. Truth is the only way to promote real justice, fairness, equality, and at last, I will continue to pray and sing, and like in the native Tibetan prayers, where we always hope and wish that one day all of us, all the human beings, despite all of the critics and non-believers who don't believe that they can be a society, a country, a world, a place, a structure where there is no more need of wars, no more need of weapons, no more need of prisons and prisoners, where human beings can live in a more equitable, more kind, more genuine, more positive, loving environment. And that is the reason why at this moment, at this critical time, we have to stand with the truth, with determination to continue to work to make the world a better place. And again, I hope today more people really got the information, and clearly please share and subscribe, and thank you. If you have any questions, leave it right on the comment and I'll try to answer those. And thank you whoever is watching. I'm doing it live stream because for me live stream is truly telling how I feel, just as who I am, not edited, not hyped. And if I even if I've misspelled some words and misstood, forgive me. I will try my best to give you my motivation and intention is really to help people to really to get the truth of the real picture of what happened and dispel the misery, dispel the suffering, dispel the confusion. And like at last, it says that today, on this dark day, yesterday, few days, this dark cloud of confusion and attack on His Holiness Dalai Lama, and a lot of different things happened. But no matter how big the sun, the cloud, and how dark the cloudy days, the sunlight shall shine back again. And also in the Tibetan, we say, "Se sawol, when nam kalakyap." So that's a old Tibetan saying that says, as long as there's the light of truth, like the golden light, even if it's covered, it will shine back again. And I hope today, that is the reason I called my channel called The Bride Awakening, you know so I hope more people awake to light, awake to righteousness, virtuousness, positivity. I hope everyone will come together as one human race to make all of the world, for Tibetans, for everyone, for Muslims, Christians, for everyone, believers, non-believers, to make this world a better place. We need all of us, including the Chinese and including all of the perpetrators. Forgive them, for they don't know what they do, but it doesn't mean that we don't take action to dispel that. We forgive them, but their action, we can take reaction from our side to tell our truth and tell what is truth. And that's why truth as confidence, and truth as a deeper motivation and intention. So I believe, so I hope. Thank you, thank you, thank you.